So after preparation of alcohols, knowing the methods for the preparation of alcohol like hydration method and fermentation we have seen in detail, this is combustion or burning of alcohols or chemical properties of alcohol. And the most important chemical property, of course, alcohols, methanol and ethanol especially, methylated spirit used in the labs as a burner. And ethanol is used largely as a fuel, especially in Brazil, they use ethanol as a fuel. Okay, that's one reason of their prosperity, because they are fuel independent or biofuel nation, or they actually produce fuel which is renewable, and they produce fuel which is quite compatible and in energy to petrol, and also it is almost pollution free, because they say carbon dioxide they produce is used by the plants they grow, the sugarcane, carbon neutral country. Combustion means burning, and for combustion you need what? Fuel. Suppose in this case it is 1 carbon alcohol methanol, 1 carbon alcohol methanol, and for combustion you provide oxygen, air, and this oxygen will react with methanol and produce carbon dioxide and steam. When methylated spirit is burned, methanol is burned, we have carbon dioxide and steam. And if it is ethanol, like largely I said it is ethanol being used, then reacting with oxygen means the air you provide, plentiful air, it turns to what? Carbon dioxide and steam. Both these processes release amount of energy which is utilized in the useful work, energy converted to work, okay, like for heating, for cooking, or for ethanol mixed with petrol, it is used as a fuel for vehicles, engine, okay. So combustion or burning, one very useful property of what? Alcohols. These alcohols undergo combustion, plentiful air is provided. Then oxidation of alcohol, another very useful thing, because it is utilized in production of carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acid, a family of organic compound, very useful, are produced by oxidation of alcohols. And for oxidation of alcohols, you have alcohol, I said P alcohols, P dot mean primary alcohols. And primary alcohols we call the alcohols where OH, the functional group, is attached with the carbon that has directly at least 2 hydrogen attached with it. Primary alcohol mean OH is attached to the terminal carbon, and it undergoes oxidation reaction, and this atomic oxygen, it is shown in bracket, atomic oxygen, fresh oxygen, not even yet molecular, is being provided by this oxidizing agent which is acidified, potassium dichromate acidified, mostly short written as Cr2O7 2-, and basically acidified, that activates it. So methanol undergoes oxidation and provide what? Methanoic acid and steam, the waste product. For oxidation, you can notice these 2 hydrogens from the terminal carbon are removed and oxygen come into the game with a double bond, and those 2 hydrogens which are removed are taken up by 1 atomic oxygen and turns into what? Water. This is how this reaction basically proceeds. Look at ethanol, 2 carbon alcohol. This is eth for 2 carbon, ethanol, 2 carbon alcohol. When receives oxygen from the oxidizing agent, same oxidizing agent, acidified is provided, you will find out the oxidizing agent color changes from O to G, orange to green. That shows the reaction is proceeding smoothly and it's going on. Oxidizing agent provides oxygen, and this oxygen turns your ethanol to what? Ethanoic acid. Again, you notice this thing, you need to notice this thing, that these 2 hydrogens are off and replaced by what? Oxygen. And the hydrogen which goes off are taken up by 1 oxygen. So 2 oxygen are shown with the bracket, mean this atomic oxygen is being provided. So methanol oxidized to methanoic acid, ethanol to ethanoic acid. You notice ethanoic acid, look at this particular functional group. Look at this particular functional group. Carboxylic acid have this functional group, maybe shortly written as, this is carboxyl functional group, this is alcohol functional group. Organic compounds are recognized by their functional group. Alcohols these are because they have OH functional group. Carboxylic acid, these are because they have carboxyl functional group. How they are produced? Alcohols oxidized in the presence of oxidizing agent, acidified, and turns to carbon. You need to know basically how to write the chemical equation. Write the formula of alcohol, 2 oxygen in bracket, oxidizing agent, the conditions, okay. Normally when this reaction is done, this is the reagent that is being provided, that provides the oxygen, acidified, and for this reaction to proceed smoothly, you need to write this symbol as well, heat. And whenever alcohols are heated or any low boiling thing is heated, it is reflux also. Reflux means there is a condenser attached in a mounted in a erected position, vertical position. So that condenser, basically the condenser which is attached like this, it is the condenser attached like this in a vertical position on a round bottom flask, basically never let the low boiling thing to escape, like alcohol low boiling, and these alcohol vapors are sent back to the reaction tower, the place where they are reacting with oxidizing agent which is being mixed with it. So they are not vaporized, okay, because they are low boiling. So whenever low boiling thing is heated, you write this symbol heat, write reflux, a reflux condenser. 1 mark for this thing, heat, reflux. 1 mark for this thing, oxidizing agent, acidified. And the indication of reaction is color changes from orange to green. So alcohols undergoes oxidation to produce carboxylic acid. Notice the equation, alcohols you write, primary alcohol. And notice this thing, that these 2 hydrogens which are attached with a terminal carbon, they attach with a functional group, their hydrogens are gone and replaced by oxygen in the double bond. So the phase changes from OH to COOH, alcohol to carboxylic acid. Notice this thing. So you are able to produce carboxylic acid. But if sometime, rare in your syllabus at this level, if you are being provided with alcohol which is not primary alcohol, mean OH is attached with carbon atom other than the terminal carbon atom, so for that alcohol, primary alcohol it is not, it is, in this case it is secondary alcohol, oxidation will not produce carboxylic acid, rather it will produce ketones. You need to know at GCO levels or IGCSE levels. At A levels you will actually do the oxidation of secondary alcohol to produce ketones and the tertiary alcohol, but primary alcohol are the one OH attached with the carbon that has 2 hydrogen directly attached at least. Terminal carbon with the OH is primary alcohol. In between it is attached secondary alcohol, and if sometime it is attached with a carbon that has all the carbons attached with it, like this OH attached here, and if it is carbon here, then this can be a tertiary alcohol. But if it is 1 hydrogen attached, it is secondary alcohol. Okay, but easy in your syllabus, primary alcohols, terminal carbon atom has the OH. From the oxidizing agent, they receive atomic oxygen, nascent oxygen, and turns to carboxylic acid, respective carboxylic acid. Methanol to methanoic acid, ethanol to ethanoic acid, propanol to propanoic acid, butanol to butanoic acid. Variety of carboxylic acids from variety of alcohols by this oxidation method. And I said variety of carboxylic acids and variety of alcohols later on will react to produce esters in our third chemical property of alcohols and carboxylic acid, that is esterification.